Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. We are so excited because we have Ulyses Osuna in the house. He is the founder of Influencer Press. Congratulations. You have had such a massive success at such a young age.
21 years old, featured in Forbes as Young Entrepreneur Succeed. I mean, the list goes on. Entrepreneur, Success Magazine, business.com, like you were everywhere.
Yeah, you're making me feel really good. Thank you.
Well, you've made everybody look really good. What's the genius behind your business?
Right, so it's strategic media placement, right? They come to us and they want to get featured for something, and my job is to extract how to do that in a way where it serves their client, who they want to be to the masses and to the general public. Because once you get on the media, its perception is reality, right? So if they see you as a certain person or certain persona, then that is who you are.
No pressure.
I mean, you pretty much summed up Hollywood in a nutshell right there. So you work primarily with influencers, correct?
Right, yes. Yeah, we work with influencers from the beginning. I knew if I aligned myself with those people, then it's kind of like a slingshot to the top in a way, right? Because you don't have to work in the brick and mortar businesses or anything like that, and you get the rub-off effect from these high individuals, whether they're influencers with thousands or millions of followers, or they're high net worth individuals with a lot of money and stuff like that.
So how does this happen for a 21-year-old? What? Tell us your story.
So I saw an ad on YouTube when I was around 17, and the ad was pretty much promising me the world. If I went through his program and all that type of stuff, I'd be a multi-millionaire overnight.
You're talking about Ty?
No, not Ty. Yeah, a lot of people have seen Ty. This was before Ty.
Okay.
So I saw that ad, and at the time I didn't have the money to pay for his program, but there was a shift, and that shift was okay, because I live in a small town where with 10,000 people. You don't really see that. You don't really see the Lamborghinis. You don't really see the mansions. You don't see that life that you can live. So once I was exposed to that, I was like, that's it. I made the decision, I'm going to change my life. And that's how it started.
And then where did you go from there?
So I spent 2 years of my life doing things that did not matter.
What do you mean, things that did not
So
matter?
I spent a lot of time learning, which is good, right? I spent a lot of time learning, but I did a lot of stuff that wasn't contributing to cash flow, or I wasn't very selected in a niche or anything like
But
that.
you were also, what, 16?
17, yeah.
Okay.
Slacker.
I should have been. I know.
Hashtag slacker.
I know. I should have made it earlier.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man?
So then what?
I'm trying. So yeah, and then so I started doing just general online marketing stuff, so capturing emails on leads, website design. I won a national award for website design. So I was just constantly just learning and stuff. And then after that, I got invited to write at these publications. So Entrepreneur, business.com, the Huffington Post, and publications like that. And then I didn't know there was such high demand for people that wanted to be featured in these publications. But here's the kicker: if you write for those publications, you cannot write about clients, right? That is totally against rules, because then there's biases and things involved. But the space is so unsaturated. People want to get their story out there. People want to be in the limelight, right? It's very appealing to the ego. I love it.
So did you have to extricate yourself from writing for them?
Yeah, so I did it wrong. So I didn't know, right? I didn't take a class in journalism or anything like that. I was in the online marketing space. So what I did wrong is I actually wrote about my clients. And because of that, I got kicked to the curb. So every publication that I was writing for, I got kicked off of. And so I had to rebuild my way up and build those friendships and relationships. And in a way, I got a slap on the wrist because I was young.
So how did you do that? Wow. I mean, if you're kicked to the curb by Forbes and all these successful companies, how do you build yourself back up from that?
So I wrote an apology to all of them, right? I told them my whole situation, why I did it. I was naive. I saw other people were doing it, right? And honestly, I was a little kid. I was not in it for the, right now, I'm in it for the long term. So I didn't want that mistake to be for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So now how? So you're not writing for them, for your clients. So how do you work your clients? How does that work?
Right. So a lot of times they'll come to us, and then we go to the journalists or the contributors that write at these publications, and we figure out which one's the best fit. And it's tricky because it's not their bread and butter to write about people or any of that type of stuff. So we have to convince them in a way that our client would love to be featured by you.
So what's the secret to that? I mean, to really convincing somebody, here's the story.
Yeah. So it's easier for us because we did it right in the beginning. Our client does most of the work beforehand, right? Because it's a Ty Lopez or because it's a Grant Cardone type person, who wouldn't want to feature them, right? So we chose our clients, great from the beginning, from the start. But we've also worked with people that aren't that big. And what we do then is go in smaller publications, use that as leverage to get them onto the big ones.
So you were you were pressed in the premiere of the film Think and Grow Rich.
Yes.
It's something that we are completely in alignment as far as knowing that our thoughts create what we're manifesting in our life.
Yeah.
How much of that played into this for you?
It's huge. Like manifestation is so big. If I'm not able to see the vision, everybody that's behind me is not able to see it either, right? I'm the one kind of like steering that wheel. I'm in control of like how this thing works, and they always keep me accountable. So I'm like super thankful for my team because they're amazing. But yeah, manifestation has a lot to do with it, right? If you believe it, if you can see it, it's true. If you go after it, it's gonna happen.
So what is your mission? What are you manifesting?
I've always wanted to be like the one, right? Like the one that everybody knows about, but hardly anyone talks about.
Who
Hardly
is that?
anyone.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, the one, the blue pill, the red pill. So, like, even when I was a little kid, I wanted to be like a WWE superstar. But you know, I'm 5'1" and like 98 pounds, so that's not gonna happen. But I just, for some reason, I just always wanted that. So like that mission is like, for me to be that, I have to do that for my clients, right? Because if not, if I provide work that's not great, I won't get any clients.
Wow.
Right? I won't be able to
I
provide
love
for that.
So clearly, you inspire your clients and so many other people around the world. Who inspires you?
That's a good question. I think my parents for sure, because they taught me like from the beginning hard work. Like my dad was working like 3 jobs. They made me work out in the field so I can like empathize and all that type of stuff. And I realized like if he can work 3 jobs, come back home, still love his family, still provide, and show me what it is to be like a man, then I'm in like I have to provide for them. Like I don't have to, but I want to. So my parents inspire me a lot.
That's fantastic.
I love that. So where do you go from here? You're 21, you're having great success. Where do you go from here?
The only way up. I have no idea. I have no idea where that's at.
No ceilings.
Yeah. Just keep going from here. What I really want to do is be able to provide for everybody that's behind the camera right now, like my team and all that type of stuff. So right now I'm doing pretty well, but my goal is to have everybody do really well. My family.
I'm about to run behind the camera. Just like part of that group. It seems like a big group.
Let's just say he's got the best looking entourage I have ever
Right?
seen. What does it take to be one of your clients? What would it look like to work with you?
So what's amazing now is like we've gotten to the point where we can take applications. Like usually what we're looking for is if it's going to make our job easier and if they have something that we align with, because we've gotten clients before where we're just not in direct alignment, and because of that I'm not able to fully support their vision. So that's my fault for taking on that project. But right now we're in a position where we want to work with the best of the best. We want to provide them everything that we can possible. And it's like a game of life for me. I love that.
So wonderful. And I'm sure your entire team, we've been talking a lot about interns and mentorship and everything, and I'm sure they're learning so much just being in your consciousness
Hopefully.
and watching your whole thing. So what's that experience been like for you? What would you recommend for people out there that are solo entrepreneurs that are ready to go the next level? They want success and they have to build a team. You can't do it alone, right?
The biggest thing is my team, yes. 100% agreed. I used to be a diehard like solopreneur, because that was just me. I just want to do it myself. I want to beat you, and all that type of stuff. But it's not about that. Like it's about abundance. It's about having a team that supports you, and they're kind of like family, right? We go on these trips together, and in order to do what you want, on a bigger scale, you have to have a team, because the reality is you can't do it alone, right?
So
You don't have
any
enough
tips
time.
on building a team?
Yes, create a timesheet of like, from 8 to 9 you do this and all that type of stuff. Write down your to-do list and then find out what you can only do, what you can delegate, and then what you have to delete, because a lot of things don't really matter.
And remember,
Amen.
it's a test.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming. How can people
Thank
find you?
On Instagram at Ulyses, or at my website ulyssesosuna.com.
Ah,
So
well,
great.
thank you so much. We're really excited for your journey. Stay
Thank you.
tuned. We'll
Thank
be back
you.
with more on Good Morning La La Land.